really big part of that. I'm really, really blessed and grateful for that. I help other people now, and so I booked this several months ago just to come and hear you and stuff. I didn't really have a question. And then last week I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I really want to understand how I can get this into my vortex where it's not the focus of where I'm going after, how to apply the 5 steps.
You want to put it in perspective.
Yes.
And so, of all of the things that you've heard us talk about here today,
yes,
there have been so many things that we're asking you to focus on that are not about that, yes? And we really liked your question because you didn't say, how did it happen, or how did I get here, or anything like that. That's really good, because in not questioning that, your vibration's a lot cleaner, and it will be a lot easier for you to stay in that place of letting in what you want to let in.
Yeah, I'm very much a flip switcher. I don't care how it works, I just want to know how to turn it on. So a lot of other things I'm able to do this and apply all this stuff with. I don't know why this one, if it's because I have to take the medicine, check the sugar, take the insulin, things like that.
Well, feel appreciation for all of that, because this is the thing that we like so much about this conversation. We're talking all day, every day about balance. We're talking about keeping your balance, and that's what they're talking to you about too. They've got a meter, you've got an emotional scale to help you tend to your emotional balance or your vibrational balance, but they've got these meters or scales to help you keep that balance. And so just feel appreciation that you're able to keep that balance. And also, this discussion is very helpful because they want you to keep that balance. They don't want you to get far out of balance. That's why they want you to pay attention to where you are and pay attention to what you're doing, yeah? Because if you get too far out of balance, then it's hard to bring back, isn't it? And so relative to this conversation, and thank you very much for bringing it to this conversation, isn't it nice that you're keeping that balance? And isn't that what we're talking about all day here? Keeping your vibrational balance. It's exactly the same thing. Catch it before it gets out of whack, and then.
Okay, so there's that part of it.
That was really good. Well, we just want you to hold that thought, because you understand that. You understand keeping of the balance. It's like there's so many things where you understand it. When you get out of balance, then there's more to come back from. And so you're not that far out of balance. You're keeping in balance. And so we'll hear you.
Finding satisfaction in the balance of what you're saying to keep it, moderated and things like that. But then how do I really just want to be healed of it. So it feels like there's two different things going on.
Don't go so far in that. For now, just appreciate the fact that you are aware of where you are and what is beneficial to your body to do. And you are keeping that physical balance because of that balance meter. When you say you check your sugar, what does that mean?
I have to prick my finger, check my sugar every day.
So you check your sugar. What do you mean you check your sugar?
I measure, what the sugar reading is in my blood.
And you measure it against what? There's a thing that tells you?
Oh, yeah, I put it into a device that reads my...
The thing like that, relative to the vibrational balance, is your emotions. So from now on, we'll say, rather than satisfaction or dissatisfaction, we'll say, check your sugar. You checking your sugar? Satisfaction is the way you want to lean. In other words, that's that balance you want to keep. You don't want to dip too far into the other. It's the same thing. We know you're following the concept, but you're wanting it to be a bigger deal than it is, and that's as big a deal as it needs to be.
What about the healing of it?
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's all there is to it. See, it's like this. Source energy flowing to you at all times. Trillions of cells in your body. Open and asking for balance. Asking for the path of least resistance to that balance from your source who knows it. Your source is offering that information constantly. But you've had negative emotion that you didn't know you had. You've been out of balance. You haven't allowed that communication to flow. So got a little out of whack. Far enough out of whack that there was a symptom that now you are coming back into balance for through some physical manipulation. That's all good. So now, by tending to your vibration, by caring about how you feel, you're going to be more often, because of caring about how you feel and through meditation, you're going to be more often in the receptive mode. We haven't told this story. We're going to tell it really fast. So step 1 is you ask, and contrast causes you to do that. Step 2 is source answers. Step 3 is you get into the receptive mode. And when you're in the receptive mode and really practiced at it, then information flows to you. Information, vibrational information. Vibration flows to you. Vibration flows to the cells of your body. Vibration flows, and sometimes your cells are the interpreters of the information that's flowing. Sometimes your own conscious mind is the interpreter of the information that's flowing. So if your cells are the interpreters and you're wide open because you're in the receiving mode, then your inner being and the source energy is answering those cells. And you're wide open, so the cells are receiving, and you're coming closer and closer into balance. That's what healing is. So as your cells are receiving the communication, and why are they? Why are they now receiving more communication than they were before? Because you are caring more about being satisfied. You're doing more of the things that keep you open. So we want you to hold this awareness that there is a non-physical collection of source energy, cooperative components, and all things that you care about, your inner being. It's all in this vibrational state that is flowing to you, that is causing all of the benefit that you receive. But you've got to find some way of letting that in. And you can't proceed like you normally do by complaining about this and complaining about that and worrying about this and worrying about that. It's usually not big things that keep you blocked off. It's usually a series of chronic little things. And so that's why this satisfaction factor is so important. It's not big stuff that you're doing. You're not a serial killer. Oh, wait. No. You're picking up on something. It's just the little things, the chronic things that keep you from being in the receptive mode. And all of you, without meaning to, have been depriving your cells of the benefit of the knowledge of their source. But look how much leeway you have. And understand that you're not always blocking it either. You get to sleep sometimes. That's when your cells really do their dance. While you're asleep, they make hay while the sun don't shine. So just be playful about it. Don't let it be anything dramatic. This is no big deal. Clean up your vibration one thought at a time. That's all.
And just staying satisfied.
As best you
That'll
can.
take care of everything.
And don't get unsatisfied about being dissatisfied. Don't get carried away in this. Just prefer to feel good. Just softly choose this. Just choose to feel better. That's just been watching herself, and almost moment by moment, this happens, oh, that's satisfying. This happens, oh, that's satisfying. Oh, this happens, that's satisfying. This happens, oh, not so satisfying. Anything satisfying about that? Oh, yeah, this and this and this and this and this. Okay, I'm good. Just pay attention. Just pay attention, because the more you do that, the more satisfying things come, and the more you catch yourself when you're off your game. And when you're off your game, don't you want to know you're off your game, and don't you want to get back on your game while the momentum's slight? Yeah.
You actually, that application just worked perfect. I know you've said it many times this weekend, but it just sank in there. Thank you.
It really is powerful. Not just easy, but powerful. But it's not instantly powerful. You got to practice it into being powerful. We've been saying step 1, blah, blah, blah. We know how you feel about this story. Step 2, blah, blah, blah. Step 3, let it in. Step 4 is being a master at step 3. That's when it starts to get good. Is when you consistently hold yourself. Not all the time, just most of the time, just more of the time. When you consistently hold yourself there, then, you start to notice your power. You start to notice the results. You start to feel the invincibility that your inner being feels about you. And what's so interesting is the more your inner being knows your power, the worse you feel when you don't. If your inner being didn't know who you are, you wouldn't feel anything when you're beating up on yourself. Think about that. The more your inner being knows who you are and adores who you are, then the more terrible you feel when you get off of it. And so this is what we wish for you. We wish for you to feel satisfaction and unbearable dissatisfaction. We want the slightest little dissatisfaction to be unbearable. We don't want you to get so used to dissatisfaction that then you're all right with hatred too. Revenge feels sweet. I just live in hatred and I like it. No, you don't. Yes, I do. I hate everybody. There are a lot of people walking around like that are just feeling like that so much of the time. Well, we want it to just be intolerable to you, to just be off a little. We want you to be so accustomed to satisfaction. If Esther finds herself in a position where she can't control herself and she says something to someone like, if you just